What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Tuesday. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you? That is my Mick Jagger. It's as good as it gets. You're welcome. Ruining songs left and right for you guys. Apologies. All right. What are we doing today? Tuesday. Let's see. Next week we are going to be in pregame mode, like getting geared up for week 1 for the Indiana game. So I'll probably follow the same pattern I did last year. We'll do 5 keys to a Buckeye victory, probably that Friday. We'll talk injuries, Ryan Day press conference, all that stuff. We'll be recapping anything that the players say or do or whatever that week leading up, and we'll get geared up. I'll give you a good breakdown of what to expect from the Daily Blitz. But today we're talking Freshman Focus. We're winding down. I think we're on our last freshman, and we got one more transfer to talk about, I think. So Cedrick Hawkins, the freshman, safety, 6 foot, 175. On the Ohio State website, he's listed at 5'11", 182. So little give and take there. He's from Titusville, Florida, played high school at Cocoa. That is the east coast of Florida, where I'll leave that alone. I'm not a big fan of the East Coast, in case you didn't know. Anyway, he was a 4-star in 8.975, nationally ranked number 357, pointed at your door. He was a safety, number 35 safety in the country, number 66 player in the state of Florida, and he'll be wearing number 26, so keep an eye out for him. Now, Cedrick Hawkins, this guy, he's a feisty defensive back with plenty of experience. He plays much bigger than his size. He isn't afraid to square up with a ball carrier or lower his shoulder pads and make a hit. He's played 5 years of varsity ball. Yeah, I said 5 years. Yeah, he got varsity snaps as a freaking 8th grader, man. Jesus Christ. In his career, he has over 250 tackles, 50 PBUs, and a dozen or so interceptions. Finished with 117 tackles as a junior in one season. Jeez, insane, man. He's got a fluid back pedal, and he has loose hips that allow him to cover a ton of grass and get deeper parts of the field. He's got an awesome football IQ that allows him to anticipate throws and jump routes. His advanced ball skills lead to takeaways, and he hasn't tested in the last 2 years of high school, like gone to any camps or anything, but he posted a laser time 4.640 as a 9th grader. Was also a regional qualifier in the 200-meter dash as a junior. So that tells you, he's legit. He'll eventually need to add some muscle and fill out his lower half if he's going to, make stops in the Big Ten near the line of scrimmage. You're going to take a little bit of a pounding there, son. But he understands that oftentimes, and the low man wins when you're coming up to make a tackle on a big guy. So he should be viewed as a versatile safety prospect. Again, when we're talking safeties, and especially defensive players, we're talking versatile. That's the name of the game. So he could play the deep post or come down in the box. He obviously, he's going to bulk up a bit, getting the body by Mick plan. But he might also be able to get a look at the nickel or as a boundary corner. He'll need some time in the weight room before he's ready to go on Saturdays, but he has a chance to be an impact player for the Buckeyes. Like I mentioned earlier, he ran track, sprints, and the long jump. He posted times of 22:46 in the 200 and also clocked an 11:13 in the 100 meter. So decent speed. He, like I mentioned, he began playing varsity football in 8th grade. He chose the Buckeyes over Penn State, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, and a ton of others. He was the last line of defense for a Cocoa team that won the state championship last year. So dude is a winner, that's for sure. So we talked about his toughness against the run, and he plays with that kind of tenacity that every team needs and every opponent hates to go against. One of those guys that's just nasty. He attacks the run. He'll also take on tight ends and fight off blocks. He's an effective one-on-one tackler. He lined up everywhere in the Cocoa secondary. His versatility makes him an option for just about any position. He could line up at, like I said, nickel or the boundary. His aggression and fearless attitude against the run could also be a perfect fit for strong safety. So, again, versatility is key here. If Hawkins ends up closer to the line of scrimmage, the Buckeyes will have a defender who will run to contact, run to it, not from it. And then the deep safety as an option because he does a good job of anticipating where the ball is going. Hawkins also adjusts well when the ball's in the air and gets himself in position to make a play. He knows his job as the last line of defense, and that's key, right? I mean, we've seen other safeties at Ohio State, Ross Parker, who are the last line of defense, and they don't make the play. And a very slow-moving white quarterback gets to the end zone wearing orange. Anyway, he can turn and run with receivers, then come off in and make a play elsewhere. The Buckeyes are deep at safety this year, which makes playing time a little difficult. Special teams could definitely be an area where he'll find snaps. He excelled at kick coverage in high school. But after 2023, after this football season, Buckeyes are going to be replacing 3 senior safeties. So jobs are going to be wide ass open next year. And any kind of experience Hawkins can find this year will just help him that much more down the road. It'll be interesting to see which safety spot he ends up at after fall camp. But again, he has the kind of versatility that you can put him at any position, and hopefully they'll eventually find a home for him. So I like this get. I think he's just terribly underrated because he didn't go to any camps for the last 2 years of high school. So if you don't go to camps, they drop you, So it's the way those recruiting services work. I don't agree with it, but it's the way they operate, Some of his stats here are amazing. In 2021 as a junior, I mentioned earlier, he had 117 tackles, also had 10 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries. They went 11-2 that year. His high school team did, and made it to the state championship game. He had 279 return yards also. So he had a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That's all in his junior year. The guy was everywhere. Sophomore year, he had 29 tackles, 4 picks. Also was a return man there as a sophomore. Freshman year, he was the All Space Coast first team selection as a freshman, All Space Man team. So it sounds like, anyway. Played corner and safety as a freshman. And that team, again, I'm not a big fan of Cocoa Beach, the town, but they got a good freaking program over there. Again, as a freshman, they made it to the semifinals. That's Florida 4A. So, yeah, Cedrick Hawkins is a dog. I don't call enough guys dogs, so I'm going to call him a dog. He's a dog, and he does dog-like things like come up and smack running backs. So can't wait to see him on the field again, number 26. Keep an eye out for him. That's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.